In this video, we're going to talk about adding non-Office or non-Acrobat documents. When you save a document in Word or other programs for which there are NetDocuments add-ons, you get the ND Save dialog that makes saving the document to the correct workspace or the folder easy and straightforward. So for example, right here on this test document, if I hit the Save button, we get the ND Save dialog and we can save the document in. And that's true for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Adobe Acrobat, and some other Acrobat programs that use that same system. It's also true for Outlook, and that'll become important in a minute. So what happens if we're trying to save a document that is not one of those types of documents? Well, there's basically three different ways that you can get documents into NetDocuments easily, and then a fourth way that's a little application that is provided by NetDocuments. So the first way you can do it is have it so that you send an email to yourself. So for example, this would be an email that I could send to myself that had 3 attachments to it. And if we go to Outlook, I've already done that. So I've got this document that has 3 documents attached to it. And we'll have a whole video on using this ND Save button. But basically, if I click on ND Save, I can get to my 3 attachments right here. I can choose the matter I want to save them to, and then I can put in some of the attribute information over here and hit Save and Close, and that saves them. So option number 1 is to send an email to yourself, go into your Outlook, and then use the ND Save button there to do that. The second way that you could do it is what we call using the upload feature. So if I'm in a browser working with NetDocuments and I go to the Add button, the first option underneath it is Upload. And if I click on Upload, what we're going to find is it's going to pop open by default, okay, this open dialog, and I could choose these 3 if I wanted to. Okay, or you'll notice that I can drag and drop it. So if these are the 3 documents right here that I have, I could drag them onto that square. So either way works. I'm going to, for the purpose of this right now, just select these 3, and then I'm going to hit Open, and it brings the 3 documents in. Now I have my documents in that I want to bring into NetDocuments. I choose my matter or my case. I could drill down further and I could actually choose correspondence or something like that. But oftentimes the documents you bring in might be all different types. So that might not work. In this example, I'm just going to choose the matter, and then I'm going to click on OK. Now, it's not going to bring them in automatically because we still have some fields that need to be completed, specifically the document type. So these are 3 documents, a settlement agreement draft, might be a discovery document or some other doc type, and then we've got some correspondence in there and things like that. So what we'll do on this agreement right here is I will select agreement as the document type, me as the author, and I could do 1 or 2 of these things down here. I can either apply these values to all 3 of the documents, in other words, to this one plus the others in my import list, or I can only apply to this particular document, and when I hit continue, it'll go to the next one and then the next one. Well, because all of these have different doc types, we're going to say apply this to this document only. Now, oftentimes you're going to bring in a bunch of correspondence or a bunch of pleadings and all, and you would want to apply them all at once, and that way you can bring in 3, 4, 5, 10 documents, 15 documents at the same time. But this example, we have 3 documents of 3 different types, so we're going to say apply this profile value to this document only. We're going to hit continue. It's going to bring up the next document, which is letter opposing attorney, and I'm going to use correspondence for that. And again, my initials, and we'll come down here and say continue. And we get the plaintiff's complaint, which is a pleading. So we'll put in pleading and put in my initials for the author and hit continue. That's worked through all 3 of them quickly. It's importing them, and those 3 documents have now been imported into that case. This shows the 3 documents in NetDocuments, okay? And you'd be done at that point. So that's the second way to do it. Another way to do this is to come in to the actual, and I'm going to go back to the home page here, and I'm going to come to Samburo, And if I wanted to bring those documents in, I could come in and I know there's correspondence here, and I know I have pleading or agreement here, and I have pleading down here. Well, this is a drag and drop method, and so if I bring these documents up, I'm going to shrink the screen down a tad, and I bring these documents up, I could take the draft agreement here, okay, and I could drag it to the agreement right there, but that doesn't work. You actually have to have agreements open. I can't drag it into the case or into a filter unless that filter's open. So let's say that I come in and click on that. Now I'm in agreements. There's the draft settlement agreement we just brought in. So I go to agreements, and here are my documents right here. Okay, so I can grab the draft settlement agreement, drag it up there. Notice that turns blue. And that would allow me to drag that and let it go. And when I do, it's going to bring it in. And notice that it's importing it. And instead of giving me a pop-up, it actually brought it straight in as a draft agreement. There should be two of these here. If I refresh that, we should see two of them there now. There's the two of them right there. So by dragging that straight in and knowing that I'm putting it on agreements, that's in essence filling in the document type, and it brings it straight in. And we could go back to the case. We could then open up correspondence and do the drag into correspondence. And let's just do that real quickly one more time. Go to the letter. You got to drag it to the name of the document type filter right there, and then let go. And when you do that, it's now going to drag it in there and put it in there. And we could do that with all three. So that's the third way that you can bring it in. The first way is through Outlook or an email to yourself. The second way is the come to the add button here and go to upload. And then the third way is drag and drop. The fourth way is NetDocuments has a mass import utility that you can use. It's got a great little manual on it, how to do it, things of that sort. That's primarily used to bring in large amounts of documents. Maybe you got a flash drive sent to you that has a bunch of discovery on it, or has multiple documents of a particular type and things like that. If you're going to do a whole bunch of them, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000 documents, you're going to want to use the mass import utility instead of dragging and dropping or sending documents to yourself. So that's a quick review of the 4 ways that you can migrate documents into NetDocuments. Either email the documents yourself, use the upload feature, drag and drop, or you can use the mass import utility.